Welcome to the official Monday Night Raw review and results video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells for all notification. Monday Night Raw tonight, folks. From the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. Folks, ladies, gentlemen, I have a question for you guys down below in the comment section. And I really want your opinion on this. Do you guys think that John Cena will defeat Gunther this Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event? The comment section is now yours. I thought Raw tonight wasn't a bad show. I really thought it was a good show tonight. It wasn't really a bad show. Gunther did cut a good promo, which we'll go over. He cut a really good promo. Listen, one thing about Gunther, folks, take the man serious in 2026. We did also get a women's match with IYO SKY going up against Kairi Sane, one half of the women's tag team champions. Then we did get we got a bunch of segments on the show tonight. I feel like there was more segments tonight than actual in-ring action tonight. We got a bang of a tag team match. War Raiders going up against Dragon Lee and AJ Styles for the World Tag Team titles. Banger match. My opinion, the best match of the entire show tonight. We will go over everything that happened on that match. Stephanie Vaquer cut a promo in the ring addressing who is she going to challenge next, or who will challenge her for the Women's World Championship. We got Lyra Valkyria going up against Bayley in what I thought wasn't a bad match. Pretty good match for what it was. And then we got the main event for all tonight. LA Knight versus Logan Paul in tonight's main event on Monday Night Raw. My biggest takeaway from Monday Night Raw tonight. LA Knight. Now, I love LA Knight, don't get me wrong. I love LA Knight. I think he's great. I have one question that I'm going to ask you guys right now. Why is LA Knight continuing to feud with the Vision? I'm watching Monday Night Raw, and I'm just here thinking to myself real quick, as Rey Mysterio was knuckle punched by Logan Paul. We did get the masked person that curb stomped Punk at War Games not once on this show tonight, but twice. And yet we didn't get a reveal of who the person was. You would figure that we would get some sort of a reveal on this show tonight. We didn't even get that tonight, which I'm a little skeptical about, and we will talk about that during the main event portion of the show tonight. I love LA Knight. Don't get me wrong. But again, why is he feuding with the Vision? Why? And I even said it on Twitter when that segment with Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio. Logan Paul comes out, saves Rey Mysterio after Rey got stomped by the masked person that, again, helped the Vision win at War Games. We should have gotten at least one type of reveal tonight on who it was. Now, do I think Paul Heyman got something to do with it? Of course he does. Heyman even said it. He's always one step ahead. Are they really going to drag this out until January 5th when the masked person is going to help Braun Breaker beat Punk for the World Championship on January 5th at Barclays Center in Brooklyn? Is that really going to be the case? Why are they dragging this out? Now, I get it, sure, it's for storyline purposes. I get it, sure. I understand it. But if you showed the masked person tonight on Monday Night Raw, at least get a reveal. At least get a reveal. It's going to be a little bit of a shocking moment when the masked person comes in during the Breaker Punk match on January 5th, and we know who it is at this point. It's Austin Theory. There'll be reports coming out of Survivor Series that the masked person is Austin Theory. The people know who it is. So why not even reveal who it is? We know who the person is. Now, again, I did watch Survivor Series, and I did see the reports all over social media. People are thinking it's Randy Orton. People are thinking it's Seth Rollins. People are thinking it's Jericho. No person is going to go and climb into the War Games cage, do what you do in the ring, and scatter out that quick. It's got to be, I think it's Austin Theory. And the reports even said it, like, Brian Alvarez said that also. Sean Rossap backed it up. It's Austin Theory. It's Austin Theory. So why not just give us a review on who it is? Are they really going to drag this out until January 5th when we already know who the person is? Kind of confusing there, Hunter. Kind of confusing there. I felt like we should have gotten at least a review tonight on this show. Especially they dragged out the last, I want to say, 10 minutes of the show tonight. They dragged it out. After the LA Knight Logan Paul match, he gets attacked by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They go to commercial. They go back, and then Heyman's cutting a promo. Reed's cutting a promo. Then we got what we got towards the end of the show, with Logan Paul and Bronson Reed chasing LA Knight through the back. LA Knight gets put through a table and then gets tsunami to the top of a freaking truck, of an SUV. You could have told me that that whole entire period of time, you could have gave us an Austin Theory review and have Austin Theory cut a promo on why he did what he did, why did he attack Punk at War Games, and why is he in division. But we have to wait until January 5th to get that reveal. I felt like we should have got it tonight. At least tonight. Because again, he was shown not once on this show, but twice. We will go over everything on the show tonight. Hope you guys enjoy Raw tonight. If you guys don't know who I am Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys enjoy Raw tonight, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of the show. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. Friday Night SmackDown review is indeed live on the channel. Link to that video will be down below in the description of this very video. Also, Raw review from last week, live on the channel right now. Link to that video will also be down below in the description. And also, guys, if you guys know, this is the official home of the Near Fall podcast. So I do Raw review on Monday. I did think about this, and I am officially going to announce this. I will do episodes of the Near Fall podcast on Tuesdays. There will not be an episode this Tuesday. There will be an episode of the Near Fall podcast next Tuesday. And then, of course, I do Friday Night SmackDown review on Fridays. Follow me, guys, on social media. Twitter, @NowThisNowChris, and TikTok, Good Vibes Chris with 2 S's and an underscore. And please, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. Let's review Monday Night Raw tonight from the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. Monday Night Raw kicked off tonight with Gunther, or should I say Walter, his NXT name. I love Walter, by the way. Gunther I love as well. Gunther makes his way down to the ring. Gunther stands in the ring and looks pleased. The crowd loudly chants, "Cena, Cena, Cena." Gunther picks up the microphone, and the crowd chants, "We want Cena." You'll get Cena this Saturday on Saturday night at Saturday Night's Main Event. Gunther tells them not to get their hopes up because Cena isn't here. Gunther says it's his time now. As he walked through the ring, it dawned on him. By submitting LA Knight on SmackDown Friday, Gunther earned one of the biggest honors of his career. In 5 days, he will be the last opponent in the last match in the career of John Cena. The crowd boos. 17 world championships all the time on the road. Hustle, loyalty, and respect. Gunther has to admit that John Cena is the greatest sports entertainer of all time. This Saturday, Cena will lose to the best professional wrestler of all time. Listen. When Gunther has a microphone, you stop what you're doing and you shut the fuck up and listen to the man speak. Now, Gunther calling himself the best professional wrestler of all time, the way he's been working, sure. One could argue. One could very well argue. Gunther has a countdown to Saturday Night's Main Event brought up on the screen. Gunther wants them to see how much time they have left to admire John Cena as our hero. Cena never gives up. Gunther says beating Cena on Saturday Night's Main Event isn't enough for him. Gunther will do something that no one has managed to do before. Gunther will break Cena's spirit bully him, drop him on his head, wrap his arm around his neck, and squeeze with everything he has until the last bit of hustle, loyalty, and respect has left in his body. I love that line from Gunther. Love that line. He will squeeze until there is only one way out. Cena will do the one thing he said he will never do. Gunther will force Cena to give up. From there, Gunther walks off the ring, and the segment comes to a close. Gunther can cut a promo. Very solid promo. Effective, simple, straight to the fucking point. Love that from Gunther. My thing is, I said this on Friday Night SmackDown when I talked about the finals of the tournament between LA Knight and Gunther. I don't see John Cena tapping out at Saturday's main event. I don't see it. If I had the pen, I would have Cena and Gunther main event the show. Obviously, I think it's going to main event the show. I heard rumors throughout early in the week that Cena and Gunther was going to kick off the show. No. This is John Cena's last match. You have him main event the show. The show is not only all about Cena, it's all about the future of WWE. It's all about the guys in NXT. All about the guys on the main roster who's being brought up. It's all about them. I would have Cena and Gunther main event this show on Saturday. Now, if you was to tell me in the comment section or tell me on Twitter, oh, I think Cena can beat Gunther, I would not bat an eyelash on that. Because it's possible. I think Cena could beat Gunther, but I can also see Gunther beating Cena. It's been a crazy topic of discussion throughout the entire week since Gunther beat LA Knight on Friday Night on SmackDown. Now, a lot of people will say this. Gunther doesn't need the win. He doesn't need to beat Cena. I can see that. Sure. You want to make the fans go home happy with a Cena victory over Gunther on Saturday night. At this point, I think Gunther is bulletproof in his career. At this point in his career, Gunther can take a loss here and it wouldn't matter to him. Sure, he won the tournament. The very second you saw Gunther's name be etched in stone in that bracket, in that last time is now tournament, you knew he was going to win this tournament. I knew, you knew, the whole world knew. Cena won a record even say he wants to wrestle Gunther. Put it this way, before we go on with the show. I saw the 6 Feet Under podcast with Undertaker and Gunther. Do you have any idea how much Undertaker put Gunther over on that show, on that podcast, on that episode? Taker loves Gunther that much. Taker knows how old school Gunther is and how great he is in the ring and everything else. The way he carries himself. If you don't think that something like that from The Undertaker, who's my GOAT, Cena is one of the all-time greats, but Taker's my GOAT. If Taker is saying something like that about Gunther, could you imagine what John Cena thinks about Gunther? Could you imagine that? Now, again, I will make my prediction about this match. I can see it go both ways. I could. Again, I can see Gunther beating Cena. I can see Cena beating Gunther. One thing's for certain that we will get on Saturday Night's main event. I don't see Cena tapping out. If Cena is losing, he's not tapping out. I'd rather have Cena lose by pinfall. Because Wrestling 101, when you're having a retirement match, you lay on your back, looking up in the lights. Maybe they give Cena the win on Saturday. Hunter is going to sit there and ask Cena, do you want to win in your last match or do you want to lose? It's up to Cena. It's up to Cena. One thing we know about Cena, so far in this later half of his retirement, of his farewell tour, he's been having a lot of banger matches. A lot of bangers. The match with Cody at SummerSlam. The match with LA Knight at Clash in Paris. The match with AJ at, Crown Jewel in Perth. Banger matches. Really banger matches. The match against Lesnar was It was just there. But since the summer going into now, Cena has been having a lot of banger matches. And I'm going to tell you this about Gunther. He can't have a bad match. Gunther is that type of guy that doesn't have a bad match. So I'm expecting Gunther and Cena to possibly have a classic. If Cena is going to go out, and I said this on Friday on SmackDown, if Cena is going to go all out on his last match, he might as well either go out on a blaze of glory or go out on a shield. I think Cena will lose on Saturday night against Gunther. I think so. But again, if you were to tell me, Chris, I think Cena can beat Gunther on Saturday, I wouldn't bet a single eyelash on that, brother. I wouldn't. Because again, one could say, oh, Gunther doesn't need this win against Cena. But you can sit there and say on the other side, Gunther could be the next guy up. He could. Gunther has shown he can carry the company on his back. He's already a two-time World Heavyweight Champion. And he's had the longest reign as Intercontinental Champion of all time. So, if they're very, very high up on Gunther, he's going to beat Cena. But again, I wouldn't bat an eyelash if you tell me Cena's going to beat Gunther. Sure. By the way, I said this on Twitter also, and I found this out, I think today I found this out today. Do you guys know that in John Cena's entire career, you know he's only tapped out twice? I'm going to give you guys a trivia question right now in the comment section. Who were the two people that John Cena tapped out to? Trivia question for you guys in the comment section. I thought this was a good promo by Gunther. I am excited for Saturday's main event on Saturday. Gunther, in my opinion, is going to beat Cena. We got Rey Mysterio showing up at the T-Mobile Center. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria are walking backstage. Of course, they got to do that every single week. Lyra will face Roxanne Perez later tonight. World Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are in the building and will defend the titles against the War Raiders. And Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer will join us live in a in-ring segment. Rhea Ripley and IYO SKY walking backstage. Sky will face Women's Tag Team Champion Kairi Sane to kick off Monday Night Raw tonight. Video from last Monday Night Raw. Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and Raquel Rodriguez attacked the majority of the Women's Tag Team division. Yeah, what Women's division? That's the question. IYO SKY makes her entrance alongside Rhea Ripley. We go to a commercial break. Coming out of commercial break, the commentary team talks about the schedule of events for John Cena's final day as an active competitor on Saturday. I think they're going to have a whole pre-game and post-game show right after the show. I think Saturday night's main event is going to be starting at 8 p.m. on Saturday. I will cover the show on Saturday for you guys right here on the channel. We got NXT champion Oba Femi at ringside. Femi will go up against the current WWE champion Cody Rhodes on Saturday night's main event. Again, I said earlier, this will be a showcase match for Oba Femi to see what he does against a really good superstar in Cody Rhodes. Well, not really good. He's great. A great superstar in Cody Rhodes. I'm expecting... again, I said it on Friday. If Oba Femi won the NXT Championship, have him beat Cody. I'm going to stick by that. I'm going to stick by my guns here. I'm going to have Oba Femi beat Cody Rhodes on Saturday at Saturday night's main event. Cody can take a loss here. There's no championship match on the line. This is not a really serious show, but then again, it kind of is. It's for Cena and for the future of the company. For the superstars of the future of the company. A loss here for Cody will do nothing for him. He's the reigning WWE champion. It's only a showcase match for Oba Femi to see what he does, to show his talent off to the whole world. I think Oba Femi, call me crazy, folks, I think Oba Femi will beat Cody this Saturday. Call me crazy. By the way, that match with Oba Femi and Ricky Saints at Deadline, great match. Phenomenal match. Phenomenal. IYO SKY goes one-on-one with Kairi Sane. Now, this was a pretty good TV match. Pretty good. Pretty good for what it was. We will kick things off back from the commercial break. Sane is walking the plank. Walk the plank. As she sizes Sky up, Sane goes for a in for a sliding elbow, but Sky boots her back. Sky connects with some show tie uppercuts, followed by a flapjack. Zane reverses a whip to the corner, but Sky twists through the ropes and kicks her back. Sky hits a springboard missile dropkick. Sky celebrates and backs up for a bullet train attack for a pickup of a 2 count, near fall there. Sky steps on her and goes to the top rope. Sane cuts her off, puts her in the tree of woe. Sane stomps away at her, goes up to the top rope for a diamond double stomp out of the tree of woe to pick up a near fall. 2 count, by the way. Sane pulls Sky up. Sky ducks some strikes and kicks her in the knee before hitting one to the skull. Sky pulls her up, goes for a double underhook face buster, but Zane lands on her feet, hits a sliding forearm. Good spot there. Sky rolls to the apron, so Zane follows her out there. Zane goes for a slam on the apron, but Sky lands on her feet, hits Zane with a German suplex. That's the hardest part of the ring there, like towards the edge there. Sky hits a side moonsault on Zane before pulling her back into the ring. Sky hits Zane back, pulling her in the drop zone. Sky goes to the top rope, but Zane rolls, gets distracted by the referee. Asuka sweeps Sky's feet, pulls her in the tree of woe once again. Ripley and Asuka begin to brawl on the outside by ringside. Ripley kicks her in the head and sends her into the timekeeper's area. Zane climbs to the top rope for another aerial stomp, but Sky pops to slam into the mat. Sky connects with a beautiful over-the-moon moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. IYO SKY defeats Kairi Sane in a one-on-one match. That was a pretty good match for what it was. I like the match. It was good for what it was. Again, I don't like how champions lose on live television. That's just a tick that I don't like. I don't know. Now, with IYO's win over Kairi, do we get Rhea and IYO against the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championships? Sure. You want to put it on Saturday night's main event? Sure. But you want to put this match on January 5th at Barclays Center? Sure. Because again, they're going to load up that show. So you'd rather have IYO and Rhea go up against the Kabuki Wars for the Women's Tag Team Championship. But then again, Alexa and Charlotte are owed a rematch. So I don't know how that's going to play out. But Rhea going after the Women's Tag Team Championship, I said it on Twitter, it's kind of beneath Rhea. The Women's Tag Team Championships are really beneath Rhea. If Rhea's not going for the Women's World Championship, she should at least be going after the Women's Intercontinental Championship. At least go after that championship. I think Rhea, as the Women's Intercontinental Champion, would be really good. Sure. I love Rhea, don't get me wrong. But not seeing her in a Women's Championship match, in a Women's World Championship match, that's something I'm going to have to get used to. Because she's going to go with IYO to go after the Women's Tag Team Championships. What is she doing at WrestleMania? That's going to be the big factor there. Because once we get past December, we get to January, WrestleMania season is right around the corner. I hope Triple H knows what he's doing in that situation. Division. Paul Heyman is talking to Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed when a furious Logan Paul walks in, all pissed off. Paul asks if they saw Rey Mysterio slap him in the face last week and says something has to be done. Breaker and Reed stand up and say, it'll be handled tonight. Paul asks to talk to Heyman. Paul says this Rey Mysterio situation is getting handled tonight. Heyman says for the first time in Paul's life, he has backup. Heyman's not lying here. Paul appreciates the backup, but he wants Breaker and Reed to know that if they get in trouble, he's their backup as well. Heyman says he loves that idea before handing Paul a pair of brass knuckles, just in case. They chuckle as Paul puts them on. Heyman turns to Breaker and Reed and says he likes Paul. Again, I said this last week. Logan Paul in the Vision is a great fit for him. It's a great fit. He gets to work with Paul Heyman. He gets to work with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, who knows about the business a little bit. Logan Paul, I feel like he's starting to, reach his peak on the main roster. I love to see that. More Logan Paul in the division, please. Again, I think it's a great fit. I love this pairing. I love it. I do. I really do. Rey Mysterio is walking backstage. He walks by the New Day and Grayson Waller, who are enraged in a heated argument with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce. Mysterio will face Finn Balor up next on Monday Night Raw. The War Raiders, folks, War Raiders. The War Raiders. I lost my spot here. Here we go. Okay. The War Raiders said they're stronger than ever and will be champions again. One thing I love about the War Raiders, man, they can cut a good promo too. Ivar and Erik, they are a really great team together. Saw them going back in the NXT Black and Gold days. Man, are they so good of a tag team. They are so good. Especially Ivar. He is phenomenal in the ring. For a guy his size, brother, he's that great in the ring. As Rey Mysterio makes his entrance, he is attacked from behind by Logan Paul. Paul attacks Mysterio at ringside, gets him in the ring, peppering him with strikes. Paul puts the brass knuckles on, but Mysterio boots him away. Mysterio punches back, but Paul elbows him away. Mysterio quickly knocks him into the ropes for a 619. Mysterio hits the ropes, but the Masked Mystery Man again shows up. From Survivor Series, Super kicks him down. The Masked Man hits Mysterio with Seth Rollins' stomp, then runs off, pursued by security. The referee helps Mysterio up. Paul rocks Mysterio with the brass knucks. LA Knight shows up, yeah. Runs down for the save, so Paul gets out of the ring. Knight checks on Mysterio and says if that is Seth Rollins in the hoodie, he'll have an aneurysm and stomp his head into the mat. As for Logan Paul, he didn't know the visions could suck more, and then he joined them. Knight says things haven't been going his way, but he can't watch Paul treat a legend like that. Paul will pay not later, but tonight. Yeah. The segment from there comes to a close. I said this in the opening part of the video. The Masked Man showed up, stomps Rey Mysterio, leaves. That's one segment that he got tonight. He got 2 segments tonight. He played a major part in the main event between LA Knight and Logan Paul, which was made official during the World Tag Team title match, which we will go over right now. Now, I know Rey was supposed to wrestle Finn, so that match got canceled now because of Rey's condition after what happened earlier. That he got sucker punched by Logan Paul's brass knucks. So it is what it is. I mean, if Rey and Finn was going to have a match tonight, I thought it would have been a banger of a match, because those two are really good in the ring. I love Finn also. But, yeah, that's the segment right there. Yeah. Masked Man showed up one time tonight. Again, he will play a big factor in tonight's main event. AJ Styles, this was announced on Raw tonight. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee will battle Javon Evans of NXT and TNA's X Division champion Leon Slater at Saturday night's main event. Javon Evans, winner of the Iron Survivor, was shown at ringside. Javon Evans is great. Javon Evans is just amazing. He won the Iron Survivor at Deadline, so he's getting a future NXT Championship match, probably against Obafemi. Now, how I would book that, again, I don't watch NXT, but if I was to book that, I would have Javon Evans win the NXT Championship. Mind you, he's only 21 years old. And man, is he great. He is that good in the ring. Bro. I would give Javon Evans the NXT Championship and have Obafemi get called up by the Royal Rumble. He's going to have a showcase match against Cody on Saturday. He's going to do that great to the point where they have to call him up quick. I'm expecting NXT to have a lot of people going up to the main roster in 2026. Definitely. If there's one thing that the main roster needs, is literally and figuratively a shakeup. A draft. especially after WrestleMania. You can do it. You got the talent, you can do it. You see all those guys and gals in NXT, they're more than ready for the main roster. More than ready. You look at that roster up and down, from the men's division to the women's division. At least half of them are ready for the main roster. Hopefully that's the case. World Tag Team title match. War Raiders, Erik and Ivar go up against Dragon Lee and AJ Styles for the World Tag Team Championships. Coming back from the commercial break, we'll begin from the break here. Styles fights out of the War Raiders corner. Ivar quickly big boot Styles down and tags Erik in. Ivar knocks Lee off the apron. The War Raiders strike Styles down for a 2 count. Ivar tags in and starts to brawl with Styles. Styles hits a Pele kick and both men are down. Lee and Erik tag in. Lee attacks Ivar, hits Erik with a running Hurricane Rana. Successful, by the way. Lee clotheslines Erik over the top rope and strikes away at Ivar. Ivar quickly puts Lee on the top rope, but Lee knocks him back. Lee hits an aerial stomp. Lee knees Ivar in the face, tries to lift him. Lee gets him up on his shoulders, but he falls back. Lee tries again and drops him. Lee then powers Ivar up and hits a Death Valley driver. Great spot there. Lee hits a running body block on Ivar for a near fall. Lee rolls away from Ivar, but Ivar comes back with a corner seated senton. Ivar, man, let me tell you, I said this earlier. The man of Ivar's size should not be moving the way he's moving. He moves like a fucking cruiserweight, which is really impressive. Very impressive there. Erik tags in. The War Raiders go for a double team slam, but Lee hits them with a double Hurricane Rana. Lee goes for Hurricane Rana off the apron on Erik, but Erik powers him up. Lee knocks him back and charges, but Erik pounces him off the apron into Ivar's arms, who hits a Viking Experience on the floor. Great spot there. Very good spot. Ivar gets in as Lee is put in the ring. Ivar hits a Magnum Moonsault on Lee. 1-2. Near fall there as Styles breaks out just in time, saving the tag team to end the match. Styles and Erik tag in. They trade blows. Erik avoids a Pele kick, knees him in the face for a 2 count. Kofi Kingston shouts that Erik needs to hook the leg. Kingston calls him an idiot. Ivar tags in and Erik slams Styles. Styles charges, but Erik throws him into Ivar. Styles hits a top rope Hurricane Rana, knocking Ivar into Erik. This is the turning point of the match here. Lee wipes out Erik with a somersault senton in the ring. Styles hits Ivar with the phenomenal forearm. Hits the 1-2-3. Styles and Lee retain the World Tag Team Championships. Great match. Very good match here. Again, I love the War Raiders. I love Styles and Lee. They are a great tag team together. Listen, they're not really an official tag. I mean, they're not really a tag team. But boy, do they really work well together. They really do. And it shows. And it really does show. Great match here. I was really hoping that Styles and Lee will retain the championship, which they did. So, it is what it is there. I mean, could have been possible that the War Raiders could have won back the championship? Sure. Possible. But with Lee and Styles going up against Javon Evans and Leon Slater on Saturday, it's going to be a bang of a match. It's going to be a great match on Saturday night. The New Day gets in the ring, threatening Styles and Lee. Then the Usos come out of nowhere, head to the ring through the crowd. Yeet, man. Yeet. They were taking their sweet ass time to get in the ring. Sweet ass time they took. Usos get in the ring and lead a arena-wide yeet. The Usos takes a microphone, but the crowd wants them to run it back. The Usos oblige and eat some more. Main event Jey Uso, who was totally blown up. He's fucking exhausted at this damn point after eating so much. Greets the crowd. Jimmy Uso says they have a big announcement. And the announcement is they are back in the tag team division. There is a God. Because Jay's singles run wasn't that bad. I'll give Jay that. He did what he did as a singles run. as a singles guy. He won the Intercontinental Championship last year, won the Royal Rumble, beat Gunther for the World Championship. I'll give Jey Uso his flowers. He had a great solo run. But with him and Jimmy back together as a tag team, there's no stopping them as a tag team. They are great. They're more effective together than they are separate. That is for damn sure. Now, when it comes to the promo, Jey is a better promo than Jimmy, but Jimmy's a better wrestler than Jey. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. The Usos are back as a tag team. Great. Phenomenal job. No pun intended with Styles. Phenomenal. Great announcement there. They've been getting hit hard at taking L after L, War Games, and WrestlePalooza L. Jey in particular lost a ton. Jey isn't happy with Jimmy running over the list of his failures. Jimmy asked him what they're doing. Jey says they're going to get us. They're going to get back to us. They're going to block the noise, body them all, and put the tag division on notice, as they should, because they're great together. The best damn tag team is not in your city. Jey says they need gold. Do we see the Usos against Styles and Lee in the future for the World Tag Team Championships? Absolutely. But I think we get Usos and New Day before we get to that. Just before we get to that. Now, Jimmy gives respect to the tag team champions because they don't know about them. Jey says the New Day does know them though. There's Rock versus Austin. Jey says they run through the New Day like they always do. Remember how they feuded inside Hell in a Cell back in 2017? One of the best tag team matches in a long time was that match. Very good tag team match was that back then. Then they'll take the gold. Kingston and Xavier Woods go for a blind side, but the Usos punch them down. Grayson Waller stands there looking like a complete pussy. Nervously asked to run it back before running off. The Usos go face to face with Styles and Lee. And this segment from there comes to a close. Again, I think Jimmy and Jey as a tag team, again, they work better together than they do separate. Sure. If I had the pen here, you can do this next week on Raw. I wouldn't book this on Saturday Night Main Event. You could book this next week. You could. I would book Jimmy and Jey Uso next week on Raw against the New Day. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. The winner of that match will get a World Tag Team title match against Styles and Lee on January 5th at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. And maybe, just maybe, if that were to be the case, if the Usos beat the New Day, we get Usos versus Styles and Lee at Barclays Center January 5th. Maybe we get the Usos winning the Tag Team Championships. That'll be a great start for the year for them. Absolutely. Because as we turn into 2026, AJ Styles did say before his match, I believe against CENA at Perth at Crown Jewel, that 2026 will be his final year wrestling. Styles is going to have an all-out year in 2026. He's going to have an all-out year, I'm expecting. So, maybe they go down that road with Usos and New Day next week. Winner faces the World Tag Team Champions on January 5th at Barclays Center? Sure. Sign me up for that. Sign me the fuck up for that. Again, great tag team match. Styles and Lee retain the tag team titles. January 30th and January 31st, from Riyadh in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, SmackDown will be on January 30th, and the Royal Rumble will show on January 31st. So we're getting SmackDown and the Rumble from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on January 30th and the 31st. So we already know what that means. We're getting 2 early shows, folks. 2 early shows. 2 early shows. Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer is walking backstage. We will hear from her next. Carter Jensen of the Kansas City Royals is at ringside. Good for him there. Stephanie Vaquer addresses what's next for her. Jackie Redmond is at ringside and introduces Stephanie Vaquer. Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer makes her entrance and gets in the ring. Redmond congratulates Vaquer on destroying Nikki Bella at Survivor Series to retain the championship, as we all expected to. She's on a massive run. Who's next? Vaquer says she wants to face everyone. She's not someone who talks too much. She speaks to her actions and proves who the better wrestler on the planet is. Now, there's no argument here that Stephanie Vaquer is one of the best women's wrestlers on the whole planet. That's factual information there. Vaquer says it's not because of the Devil's Kiss, even though I love that move from her. I do. She is the best. Nikki Bella is a legend, but today's women's division is different from 15 years ago. We now have Rhea Ripley, Bayley, Natalya, and IYO SKY. Vaquer is the person at the top, as she is. She's the Women's World Champion. And then from there, for some odd reason, Nikki Bella is in Kansas City. She interrupts. The Hall of Famer says Kansas City doesn't deserve her presence, yet she's in the building. So she really does sound dumb there. She's a Hall of Famer, a legend, and a celebrity. Bella says she isn't done with Vaquer. I rolled my eyes at that point when she said that. Bella demands a rematch. This was my favorite when she said that. Really? Really? All of a sudden, God has answered my prayers here. Raquel Rodriguez from the Judgment Day runs down and grabs Bella before long donning the Hall of Famer into the ring post. She was squashed like a fucking bug. Rodriguez gets in the ring, speaks in Spanish. Rodriguez tells Vaquer to name the time and the place to take Vaquer's title. Perra. Ooh. Love that Latina right there in Raquel Rodriguez. I love it. Sure. Raquel versus Stephanie for the Women's World Championship? Sign me up. Raquel's been improving in the ring. I'll tell you that right now. Raquel, listen, she's improving. She's really starting to grow on me. She really is. Compared to what she did back in NXT Black and Gold, I think she's doing some of her best work here on the main roster. I think so. Don't call me crazy here. Call me crazy. I think Raquel has been improving really, really well. I really do think so. Maybe we get that match in a couple weeks. Do I see this match possibly happening at Saturday's main event? Maybe. I don't know yet. Maybe. No idea. But do I see this match possibly taking place on January 5th? Maybe. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I like this segment, but Nikki Bella really did kill it for me. She really did. But thank God again for Raquel Rodriguez. Backstage segment. LA Knight, yeah. Warming up. He'll face Logan Paul later tonight in tonight's main event. WWE Superstars talk about John Cena at WrestleMania. They showed Punk talking, Cody talking, Hunter talking. Cena's one of the all-time greats. John Cena's final match against Gunther takes place this Saturday at Saturday's main event, as you guys know from the beginning of the video. The Judgment Day Clubhouse. Finn Balor is with Dirty, Sucio, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez, who's getting ready for a match against Lyra Valkyria, coming up in just a few short moments. Balor is happy he didn't have to wrestle tonight. Raquel Rodriguez walks up and Morgan asks, what was that about? Rodriguez says she doesn't have to run everything by Morgan. Nikki Bella interfered in the title match a few weeks back, so that was payback. There you go. Liv Morgan asked a question, Raquel answered. Simple. Nikki Bella interfered in a championship match a few weeks ago. I think it was in Boston, I believe. In Boston. And Raquel was seeking revenge. And that's what she got. Morgan then changes her tune and supports Rodriguez. Rodriguez walks off, and Morgan gets a crazy look on her face before smiling and turning to Perez, saying she'll be in her corner Morgan says they're going to go for the tag team titles and pulls her away. Balor shrugs and Mysterio says they're bonding. Tell me how the Judgment Day slowly but surely could break up pretty soon. I don't know. I'm calling it, man. I'm really calling it. I think we get maybe Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez against Dirty Dom and Liv, maybe? I don't know. Liv thinks that her shit don't stink since she's been back. Again, I said it on Raw Review last week. I'm going to say it again. I think they brought back Liv Morgan too soon. But again, I don't mind Liv Morgan because I love her so much. So I don't mind it. But as a creative standpoint, they should have waited for Liv to come back at least around the Royal Rumble. That's just me, though. But it is what it is. Soruko of NXT is at ringside. She'll face Bayley at Saturday Night's Main Event. Should be a good match there for Soruko. Another showcase match for Soruko there. We get Lyra Valkyria, Bird Girl, with Bayley going up against Roxanne Perez with Liv Morgan on her corner. Coming back from the commercial break, Perez is stretching Valkyria's arm. Valkyria stomps Perez to get out. Perez sends her into the ropes, but Valkyria hits a running crossbody for a 2 count near fall. Perez twists out. They start trading pins. Lyra hits a sit-down powerbomb, but she can't follow up due to her injured arm. She sold it really well, though. Really well there. Valkyria hits a pair of clotheslines, followed by some kicks. Perez avoids a kick and goes for a cartwheel knee drop, but Valkyria avoids it. Lyra knocks her out of the ring, hits a wrecking ball drop kick. Great spot there. Lyra looks at Morgan and gets Perez in the ring. Lyra hits a diving crossbody block for a near fall. Valkyria attempts a suplex, but Roxanne wraps her legs around her, grabs at the injured arm. Lyra powers her up, drops her on the top rope. Perez snaps Lyra off the top rope and hits a head scissor into a face buster. Perez follows up with a cartwheel knee drop for a 2 count. Perez applies an armbar. Valkyria fights out, blocks a kick, hits a German suplex. Lyra lifts her, but Perez rakes her in the eyes as Morgan distracts the referee. Bayley pulls Morgan off the apron. Perez attacks Bayley. Lyra rolls her up for a 2 count. Lyra attempts Nightwing, but Perez gets out. Valkyria rolls her up, but Perez kicks out, knocking her into Morgan, who kicks her in the face. Perez hits Pop Rocks for the win. Roxanne Perez defeats Lyra Valkyria. Good match here. Very good match here. Again, I love Roxanne. I do. Lyra, she has to get booked a lot better this year. Well, should I say next year? She needs to get booked a lot better. I love Lyra. She's great in the ring. She's great. She has a lot of potential. So, let's see what happens there. But with Roxanne, I can see a lot of good things happening to her in 2026. Maybe a women's tag team title reign again. Maybe a women's Intercontinental Championship reign down the stretch. Maybe Queen of the Ring next year, maybe for Roxanne. Maybe women's Money in the Bank, maybe. Hello? Maybe. Roxanne's great. I love Roxanne. I do. Again, if she was to be at Fanatics Fest, I would love to meet her. Definitely, for sure. Great match here. Roxanne Perez defeats Lyra Valkyria. Bird Girl. Tiffany Stratton stars in a WrestleMania Vegas commercial. I think those WrestleMania commercials have been really good. They've been really good. I like it. Backstage segment, Logan Paul is warming up for his match against LA Knight. We got a commercial break here. Coming out of the commercial break, we got Maxxine Dupri training intensively under Natalia's tutelage. I've been loving these vignettes of Dupri working out and improving in the ring with Natalya. I love it. It's great stuff. Great stuff there. They then wrestle, and Dupri forces Nattie to tap out to an ankle lock. Dupri gets up and says again. So they kept going at it and at it and at it. and then it cuts off. We haven't really seen Maxxine Dupri since she won the Women's Intercontinental Championship at Madison Square Garden. We haven't seen her since. But if there's one thing I love to see is a person progressing really well in the ring. Maxine's been really working her craft, and she's been improving. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys right here, but Maxxine Dupri is really growing on me. She really is. Especially with these video vignettes that we've been getting with her and Natalya working out and wrestling in the ring and things like that. I love shit like that. I do. That is great stuff. More of that, please. John Cena says, we got a video from John Cena with his interview with Tom Rinaldi. John Cena says the piece of audience criticism that stuck with him was, you can't wrestle. Cena admits he was doing 5 moves and challenged himself to do more, which has really shown this year, for sure. But throughout his whole career. The John Cena Tom Rinaldi interview premieres on YouTube right after Monday Night RAW, so it should be premiering as we speak. The commentator talks about the card for Cena's main event featuring John Cena's last match. I went over the card. I'll probably give you guys a prediction right now. I have Gunther beating Cena. I have Obafemi beating Cody. Maybe you have Bayley beat Soruka, but I can see Soruka definitely beating Bayley as well. Again, it's a showcase match. And then we're getting Dragon Lee, AJ Styles against Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Again, it's a showcase match. So the main roster talent could possibly lose here. Cody could lose. Bayley can lose against Soruka. And Styles and Lee can possibly lose to Javon Evans and Leon Slater. But then again, Lee and Slater are both World Tag Team Champions. So it can go either way. But this is looking like, honestly, this is looking like a very unpredictable card on Saturday. It's a showcase show. We're celebrating Cena's final match. It should be a banger of a show on Saturday. Main event time. LA Knight makes his entrance. The main event is next. We got LA Knight versus the Maverick, Logan Paul. This was a not bad main event here. Not bad main event. So, an OTC champ pickup coming on the commercial break. An OTC champ pickup. Paul goes for a pulverizer, but Knight counters with a reverse DDT. Knight pops up, goes to the second rope, does some theatrics, leaps to the top rope, does the LA Knight, does the elbow drop from there. He delivers a really good elbow drop. Knight signals for the end before punching Breaker off the apron. The referee admonishes Breaker as Reed headbutts Knight down. The referee then ejects Reed and Breaker from ringside. Knight knocks Reed off the apron, hits Paul with a baseball slide. Knight punches away at Paul over commentary before the masked mystery man reappears tonight for the second time in this show tonight, gives LA Knight a stomp on the table. Logan Paul gets Knight in the ring, hits a low down frog splash. She delivers it very, very beautifully for the 1-2-3 victory. Logan Paul beats LA Knight by pinfall. This is when it gets completely chaotic here towards the end of the show. Logan Paul holds Knight up. Breaker hits a massive spear. Reed then crushes Knight with 2 tsunamis. Again, you couldn't pay me all the money in the world to take not even 1 tsunami from Big Bronson Reed. Then all of a sudden we get a commercial break. So I'm saying, do we get a reveal tonight? Since they're going through commercial and it's not the end of the show? Could we possibly get a reveal tonight? That wasn't the case. The Vision is in the ring with Logan Paul. The crowd is booing. Paul Heyman says he doesn't understand why people are booing. The camera shows a broken LA Knight being carried backstage. Heyman says when you live in a hellhole like Kansas City, where you don't even know if it's Kansas or Missouri, Heyman can tell that on January 5th, on the first anniversary of Netflix and WWE joining together, You will have a new heavyweight champion of the world. His name is Braun Breaker. The crowd barks as Breaker takes the microphone. A CM Punk chant picks up. Breaker has one question. Where is CM Punk? Punk isn't here because if he were, it would be 2 losses on back-to-back days in Kansas City. I see where you went there, Braun. I see where you went there, but you're really good. I like that. Breaker doesn't mean where Punk physically is. Breaker means where is the CM Punk. This nice guy CM Punk is something he's not buying or believing. All of a sudden he comes back to World Wrestling Entertainment and follows all the rules. Breaker says Punk is a fraud. Imagine preaching your whole career that you're straight edge and not doing drugs, only to look like the biggest crackhead anyone has seen. Breaker says Punk might as well vacate the championship if he keeps his energy. Breaker will beat him easily. Breaker wants to face the old CM Punk. The guy from 2011, 2012, 2013. The guy that beat The Rock. I don't know why Braun Breaker said that, because CM Punk never beat The Rock. And went on a 434-day run with the title. I think that was a box promo, part of the promo there by Braun Breaker. Because Punk didn't beat The Rock. The Rock beat Punk to end his 434-day title reign from 2011 to 2013. From November 2011 to January 2013. Breaker gets on his knees and begs Punk to give him the old CM Punk. Breaker wants to beat the greatest superstar to ever lace a pair of boots. If he doesn't get that CM Punk, he will destroy him, put him in the hospital, Braun break him, take his title, and take his wife as well. Raw next week is in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Do I think Punk shows up at that show next week to confront Braun Breaker? I think so. I possibly think so. The camera shows a delirious LA Knight trying to walk off on his own. Reed and Paul run off. Breaker says on January 5th, it will be Spear 1, 2, 3. Which I think will be the case. I think Braun Breaker will be crowned as the new World Heavyweight Champion on January 5th on Raw in Brooklyn. We go backstage to see Reed and Paul attacking Knight. Knight tries to fight them off, but they cut him off. Paul and Reed hit Knight with a powerbomb through the table. Reed says they run World Wrestling Entertainment. Reed notices Knight is still trying to get up. Reed grabs Knight, drops him on a car hood. Reed climbs some crates and tells Paul to put Knight onto the car. Paul attacks Knight and puts him on the car's roof. Reed then crushes Knight with a tsunami on the car's roof. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce runs over and demands somatics as the show from there goes off the air. Chaotic ending to Monday Night Raw. Very chaotic ending. I was hoping that they kind of extended the show a little bit. Because normally when a match is over, they do their little spots and then the show goes off the on Netflix. No. The end of the match happened. Did the spots. Then they go on commercial. Then they come back for commercial. I thought we was going to get the reveal there tonight. At this point, they're really going to drag this out. Between Survivor Series from when it happened to January 5th when Braun Breaker beats CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. We all know who the Masked Man is. There's been reports about it coming out of Survivor Series. A lot of people are talking about it. It's Austin Theory. It's Austin Theory. We know who the masked person is. At this point, just reveal it. The fact that they're going to drag this out to January 5th, which if you can look at it, it kind of does make sense. But then again, at the same time, I think it doesn't make sense. Because we know who it is. Now, this could be a whole fib. It could be someone else that we're not thinking of. Sure. Absolutely. I don't know why they're going to really drag this out until January 5th. I don't know why. Don't know why, but I don't write the show. It is what it is. But LA Knight and Logan Paul, I thought was a good match for what it was. Again, LA Knight is feuding with the Vision again when he should have been in War Games back in November. Just because he was in the Last Time Is Now tournament. If you knew he wasn't going to win the tournament, you might as well put him in War Games. I would have taken out Jimmy Uso and put in LA Knight there in that spot. Because he's been feuding with the Vision since the beginning of the year. I believe. No, LA Knight has been feuding with the Vision ever since WrestleMania. Ever since the Raw after WrestleMania. They've been feuding. LA Knight and the Vision have been feuding. They should have put him in War Games. Absolutely, 1,000,000%. They should have put LA Knight in War Games. Should have. But he wasn't there. So now he's going to continue to feud with the Vision. He might play a role in the Breaker Punk match on January 5th is LA Knight. But it won't mean a thing. Because the Masked Man's going to come out of nowhere, cost Punk the championship, and then reveal himself as Austin Theory. So I don't know. But the simple fact that the masked person got shown not once, but twice on this show tonight, I thought we were gonna get a reveal. But we didn't. So at this point, I think they're just gonna drag this out until January 5th. And that, folks, is the end of Monday Night Raw review. Not bad of a show tonight. They didn't really build for Raw next week in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I don't know what's happening next week, but they didn't really announce anything for Raw next week, which is really odd because normally they do. During the show tonight, they would at least build up to see what's happening on Raw next week. We don't know a single thing for what's happening on Raw next week, and that's kind of odd. I thought tonight's show wasn't that bad of a show. Was it better than last week? To each his own. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this review. If you guys enjoyed the review, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of the show. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. SmackDown review is live on the channel, as well as Monday Night Raw review. Link to both of these videos will be down below in the description of this very video. This is the official home of the Near Fall Podcast, so make sure you guys are following me on social media. Twitter, at NowThisNowChris. TikTok, at GoodVibesChris. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. I'll see you guys on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. And then also, I will be reviewing Saturday night's main event this upcoming Saturday, right here on the channel. Until then, guys, I'm Chris. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video all over social media, and I will see you guys on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Until then, guys, I'm Chris. Have a great night. See you guys on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown.